Hello, Pacers fans, and welcome into another edition of the Sideline Guys Powered by Gainbridge. I'm Pat Boylan. As always, alongside Jeremiah Johnson, we want to note that there is an audio and a video portion of the podcast this week. So if you are listening in its audio form, you can go on over to YouTube and catch the video version of this. And likewise, if you're watching on YouTube and you don't subscribe to the Sideline Guys, make sure to give Pacers Sound a follow. The reason it is a video podcast this week is because we are joined by Pacers guard Buddy Hield. Buddy, this is your first full year here with Indiana, and it's been a successful start for you, a successful start for the team. How important was it for you, and how impactful has it been for you to start this season in a location like Indiana, one that you know values you?
It's been great, and it's like you said, just being somewhere that values me is important. And being around, I think it starts off great coaching staff, start from the top. Great coaching staff, they accepted me and accepting what I do well in the basketball court, and having the right teammates around me. As you come around a new team, you got to figure them out and figure what guys do well, and how you can put things together with the team, and just implement my style of offense and how guys move, and just trying to pick and choose spots. But I think that we all came together so quickly. We hang out in the off season, just finding that team camaraderie early with the guys, with the coaching staff, and just getting to know everybody. And once we get to know everybody, I always think that in the NBA, team first aspect always help you win games, and that's helping our early successes, having everybody to like each other, everybody playing for each other, no matter who has the big night, and just keeping that same mindset. And that's how our success is being handled just so early in the season. But we're bitter now. We feel like we let a lot of games on the table that we should have won. But where we at, we're not saying we're satisfied, because I'm not. We're still mad, but we still a lot of work that we can get better at.
That was kind of into my next question. You guys have had, I think, a really successful start to this season. I think when you look at maybe from people's perspectives, perhaps outside this building, the Pacers have been one of the handful of the biggest surprise teams in the NBA. What's the balance for you between being happy with the success that you've been able to garner so far, but at the same time, as you just said, wanting more, right? Being 500 is not ultimately the goal, right?
Yeah, just not the goal for any team in the NBA, but when you take it now where you're at, of course, you don't want to be worse where you're at, but the first 28 games that we playing so far, you see we're better than 14-14. Games that we left on. So as we watch film and we see our mistakes that are costing these games, we go back to the drawing board, we work at it and get better. And you just gotta keep grinding, man. It's a long season, and yes, you go on road trips and you lose 3 on a road trip, and you come home, you lose 2, wherever. You just gotta find that fine balance and find that streak, and let's run with it, because it's hard to win games in this league, as we all know. It's not easy, so you just got to find that consistency.
Buddy, in your first answer, you mentioned being at a place where they accept and embrace what you do well. Do you feel like there are some things that you are doing better and differently, maybe than even at other points in your career, adding to your game this season? And maybe that's hard to do as you get older and farther along, but do you feel like you are becoming maybe more of a complete player?
Is where I was at. It was. I got to do things I want to do. I just felt like here is more free flowing for me. I think that Rick's style and the coaching that he allows us to play with freely helps me to elevate a little bit much better. But where I was at, I was able to play free too. But this style is more kind of suit where it's more happier.
Almost from day one, I've seen you take an active leadership role, which is, I think, tough to do mid-season, but maybe even a lot easier at the start of a season. When there's a 7-0 run from an opponent and Rick calls timeout, you're one of the first people that I hear talking up in the huddles. Has that always been kind of the way you play, and was it difficult to come in and even last season and to be that vocal leader?
No, I learned it from my early college days. If you want to, I'm on the court all the time, and guys who was always on the court, they tend to listen to and follow. And me being in the league 7 years, I have that kind of fiery personality where I hate to lose, and talking to the young guys, we got to do this, we got to do that, and most of the times I'm just talking just to like encourage guys too, because as young teams, everybody needs encouragement, and that's trying to build up their spirit, because sometimes a team going to 10-0 run, and like everybody comes to the bench down, I say, man, we got to pick ourselves up energy, and if our energy's down, it's going to be deflating for everybody else. So just talking and just reading the game, reading others, and finding ways I can like help the team get better.
Buddy, you've got a fascinating story. I'd like to go back a little bit and have you tell it to us. Take me back to when you're a kid, you're growing up in the Bahamas, right? That's not the typical path to the NBA. Right. Your brothers, your sisters. I mean, what do you remember about being a kid, a young basketball player in the Bahamas?
I grew up with families. My mom has 7 kids. So, basketball was not even my first love. I used to run track. I stopped playing basketball when I was 11, 12 years old. The reason why I started playing basketball because I think that me and my brother got in a bad accident one time, and I can't remember what time it was. And then after that, it's like island sports was like track, and like that's one of the better, fastest people in the island. And they didn't pick me to run. And I was in 7th grade, it's like you were in high school, in the Bahamas. And I was like, when I went to the island sports meet, like the track meet, everybody said, yo, why you not running? I said, they didn't pick me. And I was like, and they said, the people start calling me like, oh, you're dumb, you're stupid. And I was like, well, you can't tell me. I tell them, I'm gonna let's play basketball. And it's like, well, you're making the dumbest mistake, And like, at the time, I was like 5'5", and it's like, it's kind of in their favor what they had. But like me, I was so confident. You cannot tell me, I'm very stubborn. You can't tell me something I can't do. I'm gonna do it, You can't tell me I'm not gonna make it in basketball. Went to basketball, forget about track, and then I just stopped.
Hit a growth spurt.
I hit a growth spurt. I hit a growth spurt late though. I was like 16, 17 when I hit my growth spurt. So I was like short, and but I was just fell in love with the game, and the game was just so fun to play with. And I just went to the park each and every day. I used to get beaten a lot from my mom. Whooping, you always say whooping, I say beaten. In the Bohemian terminology, I used to get beaten a lot because of us being in the park. My mom go to work 7 in the morning, and like nightfall, she come to work, and I gotta be home. I'm not home. She come, you can hear a van squeaking from down the road, just squeaking. And they were like, "Yo, your mom's coming!" Like, cause they say Jackie's coming, and everybody say, "Run, buddy," because she's gonna beat me. So, because I'm out late hours, so I just, I get a lot of beaten for just being out on the park so long playing basketball. But I love it so much. And I love watching college basketball. I love watching Florida play back in the day with Joakim Noah and all those boys, Corey Brewer. And I had some of those guys, my teammate, and I said, man, I remember watching y'all on CBS because in the Bahamas, the only channels would come on. And y'all was like prime times, the CBS, and I started watching all the Dukes and Michigans, all those big time schools. And I just fell in love with that. And I watched NBA, and NBA was always Sunday, TNT, or ESPN on Friday. So I used to and it was always Kobe Bryant. So he made me love the game, and I was just, when I was in high school in the Bahamas from 7 to like the area, starting from 7 because 7 is 12 we started high school, I used to take my whole lunch breaks to go to the computer. And this one, the computer was slow as shit. It was just slow. It was just and I used to take my whole break just to watch a 3-minute video of Kobe Bryant and see what it highlights what he did on NBA.com. But that's how much passion I had to watch the game and learn from it. And I look at the scores and I saw they lost, and I was like, man, when I win, I was happy. So it's grinding and just trying to wait. And it's hard to get off the islands too, because like I say, you go in the Caribbean, everybody first love, they say the way you get off to America, because everybody's trying to get up to school. To go to college is you got to run track. You're not going to make it in basketball. And I say, well, I got to make it in basketball. Forget what y'all's story had in the past. I'm not going to listen to it. I ain't going to make it. So I would just keep grinding and grinding. I believe, I trust God. And it was tough, man. Some days you wake up and you say, man, how am I going to get to the net? How am I going to get there? I had a showcase. I went to a showcase for 3 straight years. Nobody never picked me. And one time somebody picked me, but I had to pay to go to school. And my mom said, it's not the right opportunity. And the kid now found out it's not the right opportunity. So I think my 3rd year or 4th year, a guy, Coach Kyle Lindstedt from Wichita, Kansas, he came to me and I was never the best player in the gym. I wasn't the best player in the gym, but I had that fun personality, had the will to win. He said, man, every team you play on, you win. And when I came to the gym, he said, you just lighted the gym up. And he said, man, I want you to come play for my team. And I called my mom. I said, Mom, I think somebody wants me to America don't play basketball. I said, yo, I think you like him. And then just this Christian school. My mom was a Christian mom. You know, she's a strong black woman. She's a strong woman. So she didn't want to send her kid to no regular school where you just go to some school and like you just get adapted to like a bad culture. And like she wanted me to go to school where I was well taken care of, where I ain't worried about much, you know, and I was in a Christian environment. And so went there, we get our paperwork, we get that done, we get settled. I went to Wichita, Kansas, and after that, you know, I had to work still because he's bringing kids from all over around the world, like Denmark, Nigeria, Lithuania, France, Belgium, Estonia. And I was like, man, like, it's a competition when it comes to the next competition. So after that, you get your American kids there. So like, man, it's a grind each and every day. But that would make me better and make the best out of me. And I continue to work and I grind. Got to Coastal Oklahoma. And I keep seeing work ethic I had from when I was a little kid, bringing it in. So it's a lot more stories that I have, but like, that's how I got to where I'm at now.
That's such interesting perspective. And so you go from playing basketball in a country where basketball's not all that popular to, in just a few years, it sounds like, you're not only at Oklahoma, but in your final couple of years there, I mean, you're becoming this national sensation. I remember it, the Buddy Hield from Oklahoma and the three-point shot, the big numbers you're putting up. Was that surreal? I mean, to go from a kid in the Bahamas who's not even really getting many looks in the U.S. to all of a sudden, I'm the kind of the talk of college basketball. In just a few years, that happened for you.
You know, I dreamed it my whole life. I envisioned it my whole life. That's why I was watching all that. Watching like the Joakim knows. I see what it's like, and I wanted that, and I work hard for that. And like I know my skill level was not there, so I had to work double, triple. I had to sleep in the gym when I was in Oklahoma. I stayed nights there, like just like, yo, if I gotta get to where I want to go, I have to like sacrifice a lot. And I sacrificed a lot where sometime when I went to school in Kansas, I didn't come home for like 3-4 years. I went back to Bahamas. I was like, yo, what am I going back to Bahamas for when they're always gonna be there for me? I have to sacrifice here. So if I wanna go somewhere, I have to like really like, put time in, and I had to like work hard for what I wanted. I had to put more weight on. I had to sharpen my skill, and that's what I wanted. And if I didn't do that, I wouldn't be here today. So I had to like just take sacrifice from family, friends, going out, doing all kind of stuff, and it made me who I am today.
I think anyone that's in the NBA is a little bit of a gym rat. They all work hard. They all put in the time. But if you're watching this, trust me, I don't know that I've ever seen anyone put in as much time as you, especially during a season. And this what I'm talking about is, you know, a morning there's no shoot around. You're going to go to the gym. You're not taking the first bus. You're taking the taxi to the gym. Uber. So how has that got you to the point that you are today? And maybe as a springboard into that, explain your shooting routine, what you do when you go to the gym about the spots. Because when I realized what you were doing, that you have to make 10 in a row at 9 different spots outside the arc, I think I would probably never go home because I would never get done.
It's a mental thing, and just preparing myself for the game. And I just know that, you know, me as I'm a shooter, like you got to be locked in, and it's a lot of things go after you. Like you sometimes, like you in those big cities, like say you're in New York, and sometimes your shooting time is at, say I'm shooting at 5 o'clock. But the bus leaves 15, and it's gonna take you an hour. So when you might get on a spot on, you might only have like 8-9 minutes, and after that, somebody's gonna come shoot, and after that, the whole thing is all messed up. So I'd rather go to the gym earlier before everybody, like an hour before everybody, and get comfortable. So when I go on my shooting time, I can like my shooting time that I have, I'm just like relaxing, just suiting into my game plan, and like just mentally, I'm just focusing on whatever. I'm not worried about like trying to get warm or feel comfortable in my shot because I already did that an hour before everybody got here. So I'm fine, I'm good. So just mental preparation and just keeping my mind and my body just focused on me and that ball. And it's a comfort thing. Nobody will understand if you're a shooter or you're a basketball player. It's just being comfortable with yourself, feeling, and hear a lot of guys say, you can shoot 10 in a row and you still don't feel good. You can make 10 in a row, it still don't feel good. It's all about a comfort thing. So as I've been doing, I've been playing much better, and I'm not saying like getting back to my old days where my mom would say, never forget where you come from. How I was playing good, I used to do the same thing. I come to the NBA, don't change what what you have been doing from you're little because you changed, that's your routine your whole life, then you don't get the same result. So yeah, I was in college, I came early too. First one off the bus, trying to run. I said, Coach, we gotta go to the arena early to get some more extra shots, you know? We playing Kansas State or Kansas, I need extra shots, you know, and I gotta stay longer. Like, you know, like you gotta get that rhythm because you wanna be your best, playing against the best, you know? Be at your best playing against the best. So that's how I look at it.
We try to share some stories that are a little bit off the beaten path. And so if you're watching this or listening, I want you to watch Buddy during timeouts, not in the huddles, but occasionally he'll grab the basketball. Technically, you're not allowed to do this, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have a good back and forth with some of the officials.
Yeah, you got to make them feel good too now. The officials, because I'll be like a little prick to them. They're annoyed with me right now. So I don't know if this is good being on here. The officials annoy me right now.
I don't think they watch our podcast or listen.
Okay. But you know, you got to make them feel good. How you look? You look good today, man. Like, you know, you got to spice them up.
You take the ball
and get a little couple of shots. You got because the officials, you know, they're very like stubborn. You know, they're very locked in, and you got to know the ones who to talk to and how you got to talk to them because you got to come to them correct. If we come to them different, like, be a long night. And sometimes, like, man, Buddy shooting the ball again. I said, man, but how come the other officials asking him? I won't call no names, but like, let me shoot the ball, but you won't let me shoot the ball. He's like, you're not supposed to do that. I said, man, man, we are here to entertain these fans. If I don't make no shot, I can't entertain them. So what's going on? So it's like always a back and forth.
While you're talking, you're getting your shot up, so you at least saw a couple go in.
And they're not gonna give me a tech, man. Like, come on, man. They say they can give me a tech, but you can't say delay the game when the game is ready to delay because it's a timeout. So
Exactly.
But they're good guys though. But I'm always going back and forth with them. They're fun to interact with.
I think we need to capture some of the video. Wait till the season's over, then put a little compilation
Facts,
together. So.
I always talk to them. But sometimes they don't let me shoot, man. But it is what it is. But I understand. It's part of their rules. They got a job to do. And he say, man, league, see that, man. Like, well, you gonna get fined for that? I say, man, they're not gonna fine y'all, you know. But you know how it is, man. Just protocols.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because there was also a story that I wanted to ask you about, and maybe on Wednesday I'll take video of this for our video crew to put up. Pregame. I should really say moments before tip, right? Is this superstition or is this literally you trying to get up as many shots as you can, even if it involves you taking off the sticky pad, wadding it up, and you shoot it into one of our statisticians who will create a hoop with his hands, and then you shoot it through that hoop, and it's their job to make sure that ball goes in, by the way.
If it don't goes in,
was opening nice?
Miss opening, I think they missed one time.
We won't say who that was. We will keep him anonymous.
You gotta make that circle big.
You hit your first three that night, by the way, and I think I saw somebody just as relieved as I have ever seen when you hit that first three, because everyone was staring at him going, you know, if Buddy has an off night, that's on you.
Yeah.
Is that superstition? Is that you having fun? Is that your literal last opportunity to get a shot up? What is that?
It's having fun with them too, but you cannot miss. I mean, you creating a hole for me. And
it's a movie. It can move.
It can move. So if I miss, it's on you. And like I was like, oh, we gotta do it again. And after the ref is like, yo, Buddy, let's go. And I was like, yo, like you're killing me. So now after that, I gotta like, if I miss one, like I gotta do it in the timeout and do it again to make sure I get it right. So you call it superstition too, but it's having fun with them too, man. They look forward to that, and that's how I interact with them. And I don't know most of their names, but it's always a pleasure doing that stuff with them.
I think Rick had, along the lines of what you were just talking about, one of my favorite quotes of the year. He said something along the lines of, and I'm paraphrasing here, if we let Buddy, he would go play basketball every day for 6 hours with our interns. I mean, how much, though, do you feel like, and maybe your teammates could speak to this better than you can, but how much do you feel like maybe just that genuine love for the game, it rubs off on your teammates? I mean, practice always seems like a time when you guys, of course, are focused, but you're genuinely enjoying yourselves.
You know, and growing up, too, it was a therapy for me, too, basketball, to get away from a lot of stuff. I just look away, like when I have stuff on my mind, I can just go to the gym and just shoot for hours and don't feel it. You know, like people say, oh, your arm's gonna like be tired. I just didn't have a feeling, and my arms never felt numb, never had no shoulder problems, none of that. Like, just was this therapy, just get away and get away from the world and just like thinking, like just cope about stuff that you know, we all have personal stuff going on in life. Just like take your mind off stuff, and like once I have that ball and the ball is bouncing, it's going to net, like that's very great therapy for me, and it helps me to go to my day and just watch basketball. You know, like you see KD all day, man, I just want to play. Want to play. It might be therapy for him too, because that's all he knows is life, and it helps him get away from wherever he's going, wherever he's been through. You know, like me, like, you know, my mom, my dad was separated from a young age, so like my therapy is just get away from all that stuff, and like just figure out how can I help my mom get a house, how can I help my brother and sisters go to school. I just trying to find that why for me, and that helped me cope with a lot of stuff that was going on in my mind. That helped me push through, and I still do it today, man. Like you said, interns. Me and the interns, we be going at it all the time. And I said, man, if y'all beat me, I get $100 each. You know, like, make them go harder. You know, so it's fun for me too, man. I don't think I'll be doing anything else. You know, I think there's destiny to play basketball. I think God, we all put in certain situations for a reason. And I said, like, that's my therapy. That's how I get to my day. If I don't touch the basketball today, I'm miserable. You know, sometimes I build a basketball court in my house in Dallas. I got like a full court, and I'm there all the time, just dribbling the ball. If I'm done working out, I go back, my hat on, I turn my head the next way, and I'm shooting it, just trying to see the ball, and I have a big TV there, watching TV while I'm shooting it, watching guys' highlights in the league. I watch Kevin Durant, watching Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, watching all the guards, Steph on Clay, just watching the highlights while I'm shooting, and just going through the motion, man, and that's fun.
It's hard for me to listen to you talk and think about how you fit right in, that you haven't even been in Indiana for a year. I mean, it was February that you and Tyrese, you know, came over on that plane with Tristan, and the next day I think I remember doing a sit-down interview with each of you and getting a chance to get to know you a little bit. But does this feel like home to you? I mean, who knows what's going to happen, but I mean, it feels like people love watching you, they love your personality, and it seems like you feel the same way.
No matter what in life, man, I always say this is a business. And you gotta be prepared for anything. Well, wherever I'm at is home, regardless, you know. And wherever I go, it's gonna be home, because you just gotta adjust and you gotta figure it out. And I think my personality helps with that, because in life it's gonna throw a lot of waves at you. You just gotta be ready when it comes and hits you, you know. And when it hits you, you just can't you get right back up, you know. And you just gotta adjust. And this whole game is about adjustment, you know. You get in certain situations. Sometimes there's certain situations where you just feel like, yo, you can't do certain things here, you know, and just adjust and sacrifice. And when that opportunity comes to expand, you just take advantage of that.
Do you remember when Tyrese was drafted? Did you make a point to help him out a little bit? And he made some interesting comments last week about how he got along with you off the court, but maybe not on the court. But how has your relationship grown over the last 2.5 years?
Oh, it's going great. And I think the trade helped a lot too, because I'm not that big brother for him. I tell him, I said, man, like, I got traded a couple months in. You got a year and a half. Like, you know, mine's a lot quicker than yours. So, but yeah, man, this is the business that it brings, and I think our relationship helps us to off the court helps us a lot too. We hang out together, we do stuff together, go to dinner, X, Y, Z, you know. And just being that big brother figure for him, you know. I don't have all the right answers, of course, but certain things come up. He might come to me and ask me, yo, what would you do with this, X, Y, Z? And I tell him, I say, I handle it this way, you know. And maybe you ask Harrison. Harrison still is a good friend of us. We still talk to him, or he might have a better solution, or talk to James, you know. But I just try to give him be that big brother guidance for him.
I want to read a stat for you and get your opinion on it. And this is something, I'm not sure if you're aware of it or not, but if you go back to 2017 and start with the 17-18 season and go forward, here are the top 5 players in the NBA in terms of threes made. 5th is Donovan Mitchell. 4th is Damian Lillard. 3 is James Harden. 2 is Steph Curry. I wouldn't be telling you the stat if you weren't number 1. That's quite some company to be around. I think when maybe a casual NBA fan would see that stat, they might be a little bit surprised. Do you feel like you're a little bit under the radar? Is that stat maybe an example of that being true?
I guess when you don't play in the playoffs, the people don't get to see it, because I haven't been in the playoffs, and so it makes the stat underrated. But NBA teams know me. Where I go in different cities. They know who I am. They know what I bring to the table. So I guess to certain people that haven't seen me in the playoffs, everybody makes their name in the playoffs. I haven't been in the playoffs yet. That caused the stat to be underrated, but It's not underrated. People know what I'm capable of doing. Teams prepare for me every night, and they know it's a tough matchup, a tough guard. And then the same thing what they do for all the great shooters, all those guys. You can't let them get an open one. If you let him go to one, then he can rate a 4 or 5. Just like Steph. I'm not close to Steph, but he just. We all watch him and we see what all the greatness he does on the court. So so we just try to I say be like him, but try to shoot better than him. But he's one of the reasons why a lot of guys chase the 3-point line more often and get more shots. Of course, it brings more point, open the floor for your teammates too. But I think he just gives the guys more confidence so they can keep doing that. The way he shoots the ball, and him and Clay, they're the two catalysts for that.
I asked you a version of this question on radio after a recent win, and I'm wondering, you're 29 years old. I think if you asked the average player, when are you exactly in your prime, some might say right there, 28, 29, 30 is probably, 27 maybe is that prime window for most athletes. Because of how young this group is, 29 looks a lot older in comparison than it really is.
You'll call me an old guy around here.
Which isn't fair, right? You're not even 30. I mean, I'm 32, and I don't even feel remotely old. So 29, for the record, is nowhere near old. But
don't even get me in the age conversation.
Jeremiah's 34.
Yeah, right.
What's this experience like? I mean, you are kind of looked up to as this, what feels like to them, older veteran. But the reality is, if you're on a different team, you might be one of the younger guys. It's the situation you're in. What's it like?
I mean, the guys like me around me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm the fun vibe on the team.
Exactly.
They want to be.
I like being around you.
Everybody's like, "Yo, buddy, what we doing? We going to dinner? Yes, cool. Come with me. I get you. I get all the vibes. Let's go. We active. The guys want to be around me, and which is cool because they look up to me, and I try to be the right big brother figures for them and guidance. I always, tell them just do everything the right way. They ask me questions about the league, and I was like, man, you just gotta be ready, man. I'm gonna get called, and the opportunities can come. You gotta be able to take advantage of your opportunity. So, like I say, I'm fun to be around me. The guys know I'm fun to be around. We all have a great time when we all together. When we in Indy, when we on the road, we all hang out together. So, and my name is like, yo, buddy, what we doing? They always ask, yo, what we doing, buddy? It's never Tyrese or Jeans. They ask, what we doing? Because they want to be around me. You know what I mean?
I'm guessing there was a time where you were shooting so much, you had to turn down opportunities to go do fun things because you said you had to get your workouts in.
Right.
But now you're getting all your work in. When you do go have fun in Indiana, what do you do?
Me?
Yeah. If they're calling you up, is it, just go get a nice dinner?
Get a nice dinner, chill, it's like a team friendly bond and stuff like that what we do. We just have fun. We go on the road. We're in a city or something, and now we do a team friendly bond and just have fun together. So, I guess I'd say I'm the event planner. I set up everything for the guys, and we just have a good time, and there's nothing wrong with that. When you out together, I think team bond and stuff is great for the guys, and it brings everybody together, and we all just come close as a group, and that's why we're so likable. And a young team, you got to stay together. You can't have one group over the way, the next group that way. We all stay together. We do things together, and with the Pacers. And then once you stay together as a group, it rubs off on the basketball court, and you can see the success.
Final one from me. You mentioned about the playoffs. Is that something that's out there? That's one of the reasons you do all the work. I mean, you're obviously wanting to prolong your career and have as much individual success, but you want to be in the playoffs. You want to experience that.
I want to experience that. And I don't want to just be in it and say I'm playing the playoffs. I want to make a deep run. I want to taste a chip. Everybody goes to win a championship, but I want to hold it. I want to feel it. I don't want to just go there and just say, I played in the playoff. I won't be able to host a trophy one of these days.
Final couple thoughts for me as we were talking about your background and getting here. It started to strike me that you've got a story that is so unique, but in kind of an interesting way. There's a lot of guys on this team that have their own version of that story, right? Chris Duarte, Andrew Nemhard, Daniel Tice, Ben Matherin. Don't want to leave anybody out. I might even be missing somebody. But
international guys, right?
International guys who started in, Chris Duarte's journey. There are so many players that don't have a standard journey.
It's the point is all the international guys are always close together because we know how hard it is to come and play basketball in America. You see the Giannis's and Lukas and the Jokic, they know how hard. That's why the game is. They take the game so serious on that level because they know what it takes for them to get here. You know, Luka's one of the guys who are more skilled. Unfortunately, like he came at a young age, but there's a lot of guys that like really had to put the work in. You should watch Giannis progress. He was never the best in the league. You know, he had to work his ass off to get to where he had MVP level, championship level, and guys, international guys take it a lot more serious. You know, Bogey, my teammate in Sacramento, you know, international. It was serious. You know, because like we know the opportunity we have is, you know, it's not as great as the Americans, you know, and we keep it real. It's not the opportunity's not great as Americans. So when you're on there on the court or when we're working out, we take it serious because why? We don't have as much chances as the Americans have. So we have to be that inspiration for people back home. You know, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. Just believe, work off, get in the gym, stay focused, stay grinding. Because 12, 13, 14 years, 15 years when our career is done, then the next one's coming up. And after that, like Vlade Divac, like, you know, and Bogdan Bogdanovic, and like, you know, Michael Thompson in the Bahamas. Now you have DeAndre Ayton, Buddy Hield, and you have Kai Jones. So there's always gonna be one of the group. You know, the Americans it's always gonna be America. Basketball is always gonna be dominated by the Americans, no matter what. But our goal is like to try to catch up and get to that level where they had. And you know, look at the countries like I don't know. Now Canada is up there; they have a lot of NBA players, but like, you know, Bahamas, we have 3 NBA players. You know, like from a small country, 300,000 people. That's pretty unique. That's big time, you know? And coming from, like, you look at that Serbia, you know, I don't know, they might have 2 or 3 or 4, you know? So that's competing with those countries that have more people than us is pretty big, you know? And so just trying to inspire, like, all international guys in the league. I don't know, I can speak for them. They're just trying to inspire and help those guys that are over there, like, try to get over here, too, that they can do it. Just give the kids hope that, you know, we can do it, you can do it, too.
It's really inspirational. Let's close here. One final question. Let's look forward here in this season. We're talking to you at a pretty interesting time because I think, as we discussed earlier in the podcast, the Pacers have caught a lot of people off guard. They've been really surprising. You guys have been one of the feel-good stories in the NBA. But I know as we're talking to you right now, at least as of taping here, a couple losses in a row, and you guys maybe don't feel like you're playing quite at the top of your level, at least in this moment. So as you sit right now, you're at 500. There's been a whole lot of good. I know some recent frustration as well. What's going to be the key for you, for this team, to being able to extend what's been such a feel-good story so far?
Staying locked in. Staying locked in. Don't worry about all the noise. Oh, you're good. No, I'm sure everybody will be good. We're sure everybody good with wins and not losses. And don't, you know, it's just losses like, oh, like you play hard enough, but you still lost. You know, this league is all about wins and losses. You win, everybody's happy. You know, you guys come to your jobs happy. You know, the whole organization's happy, and you lose, and everybody's down. You know, so stay locked in, and all we gotta do was discipline. Like a good example, like a team like Brooklyn. We came in, you know, they didn't play their starters, their group. It took them lightly, and they spanked us. And after that, we had a tough game against Miami. Team that we were really locked in on, but if we had been locked in for Brooklyn, like how we locked in Miami, we might have won that Miami game too, because it just rubs off. So just staying locked in, and then we all just see that we're young, yeah, but like for professionals, you gotta learn, like, don't get caught up in those trap games and stuff like that, because that can also bring you down too. So now we gotta get another tough game against Golden State tomorrow. So just gotta find a way to win, man. Having that will to win, wherever it takes to win. You gotta lock in and finish the season strong.
Well, Buddy, we've had the great fortune to do these podcasts with a lot of players over the last few years, and I'll tell you, this is one of the very best. They tend to be only as good as the player is willing to open up, and you certainly did that with us today. I think the fans really appreciated it. JJ and I really appreciate it. Thank you very much, and best of luck the rest of the way.
Y'all good.
Thanks for being you.
Oh, for sure. Always.
This is the Sideline Guys, powered by Gainbridge. Again, if you haven't watched this in its video format, you can catch it on YouTube. And if you don't normally listen to us in our audio format, just search Pacers Sound wherever you get your podcast. For Buddy Hield, for Jeremiah Johnson, I'm Pat Boylan. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening this week to the Sideline Guys.